Lenses, two perspectives, two hosts. First up's Eric Fadie, on the mic like you know. Podcaster, comedian, photographer, and host. Then we got Tyler Charles working his fingers to the bone as a musician, artist, comedian, and fellow host. Oh, brushes and lenses, that's the name of the show. Brushes and lenses, we'll learn as we go. We'll learn as we go.
Oh, hey. Welcome to Brushes and Lenses, a weekly podcast where art meets photography. We are joined, as always, by our co-host, Tyler Charles, who's an amazing artist, drawer, painter, comic, singer, and more.
Also with us today is Eric Fadie, an exceptional photographer. I'm going to list off things, too. Comedian, world traveler. Well, one day. Photographer capturing breathtaking moments on Mackinac Island. Each week, we'll dive deep into our latest artistic creations and discuss the thought process, techniques, and inspirations behind each of our pieces.
I feel bad. I am having a little bit of a week, and I forgot my script, so I did have to go off script for the intro, but that will not be the case on a regular basis. I
liked your improv.
Thank you.
I like what you threw together. It worked.
I appreciate it.
It was actually more in-depth about me than the actual script.
I figure you can't go wrong with compliments.
Yeah. So,
who's gonna be you're gonna step in and be like, no, I'm not.
I don't know. I need to stop you there. It's too much. Too much. So this is the podcast where we discuss. It is a video form. We're going to describe what we're showing you for the podcast. It is both. Honestly, it's good for both things. We're going to show a picture of Eric's. We're going to discuss it. We're going to have a picture of my art, and we're going to discuss that. So last week we did Eric's first, so we're going to switch it, and it's going to be my picture first.
All right. Yep.
And I was gonna say something. I'll probably show my image and then the history of it. But this image, which I'm gonna show you here in just a second, is I'm doing a festival called Festival of the Oddities. It's September 2nd and 3rd. I'm going to have a booth there. I'm going to be selling art. It is a macabre kind of thing. It is spooky kind of stuff. So I've been working on a series.
Is this located?
This is in Charlotte. Near Lansing.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be fun. But I've been working on it.
That's during the holiday weekend, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll get some people out there. I've been making a series of Michigan cryptids, which are monsters of Michigan.
Nice.
And the first one I'm going to show you here is Dogman. I did.
I did see this, and I'm going to have to do this old man thing where I zoom in.
Yeah.
And by zoom
I'm
in,
going to move us closer too. There we go. So I really see you looking like an old man. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're a little biased because it's got Michigan in there.
Anything with the mid. To be honest with you, Tyler, I was just saying to somebody the other day, and I know everyone has different opinions for sure, we didn't see all the states, but I was in all the states. I didn't necessarily, of course, see every inch of every state, but I personally did not find a place I'd rather live than Michigan. Personally, just on my own level. So you're right. I'm very biased with anything in it. I love the. Go ahead. Yeah,
no, I was just gonna say, to be fair, I kind of agree with you. I think there's some places. I would love to live in Alaska for a time.
Well,
I guess I would say. For a time,
I would say that I would agree. If I could say I was going to go up there for 6 months or maybe even 1 year and experience the whole cycle, I'd be okay with that. But for someone like me, they have no concerts up there. No one goes up there. There's no sports teams. There's things like that that just would get to me more than
full on living there would be an issue. No, it would be. That's why I said for a time. But I would say Michigan is definitely. It has all the seasons. It doesn't get crazy too hot. It's not. I mean, I kind of love the cold, so I love winter.
There's not
so that
hurricanes.
Definitely is. Yeah, there's not hurricanes. Yeah,
no
ocean. I don't have to worry about sharks.
It's all fresh
but I can still go in the water. Yep. This piece.
Anyway,
no, I was just gonna say this piece is more or less inspired by Dogman, which is a creature that apparently lives in the UP that has been sighted at kind of all over Michigan, I guess. But it's been around since the 19. It's like.
Oh, sorry.
It's like.
Sorry.
What?
I was gonna say.
Were you gonna say it's like our Bigfoot?
Yeah, it's our Bigfoot.
Well, we have Bigfoot. Like that. In the UP, Bigfoot has been spotted. So looking into all these things, like, yeah, I just did one. Apparently, it's called. I'll probably talk about it next week. But Saggy, which is the Saginaw sea serpent. I did a drawing of that one. Yup. And it's their Nessie.
Really interesting to me.
Yeah.
I did not realize
right in the little, right in the.
That's really cool.
Right here, you can find Saggy.
Yeah. Sag Nasty. That makes sense.
Yeah, Sag Nasty. Yeah, exactly. Don't go in the water. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. I didn't realize we had so many monsters like in Michigan. That's interesting.
A decent amount, honestly. I'm gonna have probably about 10 by the time. I have to do the show, but I'm going to do a wall of the cryptids.
This Dogman is ripped, by the way.
Oh, he's totally. I mean, if you're going to be a Dogman, you better work out. You don't want a fat Dogman. He's doing more. I think he has like 10 abs. I think it's like more than the normal person.
He's putting me to shame. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you're eating people and running through the woods, you tend to get jacked.
I really, really like this, by the way.
Thanks.
Really like it.
What is your initial reaction? Well, like, what speaks to you? What I don't know. What do you think of this picture?
I love that he's coming up through like a candle in smoke. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, because I was trying to give No, what?
Sorry.
You go ahead.
I'm so sorry. And this is something we'll have to get used to, obviously, because we're still getting used to each other talking again. But I would just say, like, the detail in his fur, there's a lot of really nice detail in here. His eyes, I know, I don't want to just say the word detail so many times, but it's very, I just really nice, man. Really clear to me, if that makes sense. Not clear, but like, again, I'm trying to not say the word just detail all the time, but.
Yeah, a lot of people do compliment me on the detail of my work. I feel like that is a big thing that people will reference, is that like it just looks like it takes so much time.
Yeah, and the Michigan thing, I know we go on about how I like Michigan. One thing I do like in the thing is that in the Upper Peninsula you put like the compass. I think that's a really cool thing there.
Well, that's where the Dogman's been spotted.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, right by the Porcupine. Yep. Oh no, that's like by Marquette-ish. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. No, this is
the initial
moon
spotting.
Is really dope. I love the little like the glare, not glare, but like the stuff kind of to give you
the light
to give
from
you a
it.
feeling that the light to give you a real opinion that it's a full really bright full moon. I can like almost through those little just things I can just picture it. I can just picture what it would look like if I was outside.
Yeah. I was going to say, too, apparently Dogman got, like, kind of big because of it's a song about the Dogman. I'm trying to look.
Are you trying to play it?
No. I should have. Damn. I really should have. I dropped the ball with that. I just found out about it right before we did the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to... just before we get into that, I'm going to describe this thing. But I want to describe the piece I have for the listeners. It is a monstrous, more or less kind of like a werewolf coming out of smoke from a candle, and right next to it is Michigan and the UP, and then behind it has a moon that is signifying that it's, you know, it's out and about. He's a monster, and you need the moon to prowl.
It's a wolf. Oh, dog man. I forgot because it's not a wolf, a werewolf. Because werewolf is the full moon thing. I guess.
Yeah, but it just kind of looks like a werewolf. that's
like
that's the vibe.
Like that's what it would be. It's our version of it, I guess. But
yeah, well, it's definitely my version of it, for sure.
Now, I have a question when it comes to the lettering, like that when you wrote in the picture the word dog man. Is that something that you looked up that like that's, or is that your own like?
That is my own handwriting. That is me just fucking around with some, because I'm a legit. It's one thing I don't typically do in my art. I don't draw or write a lot in it, because I'm not very good at handwriting. It's just not something I'm inclined to do. Which is insane, because like I'm pretty good at doing some art. So you'd think that like my handwriting would be immaculate because I'm good with a pen. But not so much. This was me just kind of doing a cursive thing and seeing how it turned out, and it turned out all right. I mean, it is not terrible. It's not the best. It's not terrible.
I like it. I personally, it's funny. I always, and this is don't take. I don't think you will take this the wrong way. But I also think that I'm not a harsh critic for the most part. If I like things, I like things. Unless, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not someone who. I like stuff. I don't know. Like, so I tend to lean towards liking stuff. I guess. Yep. But I like it.
Well, I'm happy about that, because I don't want to be on a podcast where somebody's like, yeah, it could be better.
I'm not going to be the Simon Cowell of our podcast. I'll say that. Like, we need Scott.
Well, there's only two of us.
Right. Scott.
So it'd be like me being really nice and you just being really critical.
Right. What if it was just like? What if it was just like I was just super critical of your work, just like, this and that, and then it came to my photo and you're like, yeah, here's you're missing some things here. This is, and so like the show was just like we're talking about how good of art we are, but we just destroy each other in our art.
Just tear each other apart. Like, yeah, you could have done it better. I think there's a better time of day that you could have taken this picture. That would be anxiety-inducing podcasts.
Why are they doing a podcast with each other and all they do is make fun of each other's art?
It seems like they really don't like each other's stuff.
Right, like, and I'm just like, yeah, this is maybe your worst one yet, and you're just like, oh my. Yeah.
Just lean into, this is terrible.
I don't even know.
Yep, that's our new podcast.
Yeah. No, I really like this one though. Honestly, it's always hard with I always told you this on the road to me. It was hard with art because I don't ever want to be like, oh, I really like this one, and then next week is like, yeah, I like this. So then like, well, he didn't say really. So...
Yeah, I do so much art. It's like it doesn't matter. I feel like it'll go in waves. And I was also thinking that other podcast could be called Bitching and Critiques with Tyler and Eric.
And it would be funny, like we just start off like, but what if we just started off every time just like, oh, and we're gonna look at each other's art, like it's totally normal. Like you think, oh yeah, they're gonna critique each other's art, and then it's just brutal, and then it's just like, Well, that was our episode, guys. Really enjoyed that, Tyler. Really enjoyed it. I'll see you next week.
Oh my God, I love this idea. But for this podcast right now, I'm gonna talk about just for a second what I used to make this piece, which is a lot of the same stuff. I'm a huge fan of ink and pencil. It's something that like I think it looks really cool. It has this like, I don't know, steampunk-esque kind of thing where it pops off the page. A lot of my stuff has been described, like there's a genre called pop art, and my stuff falls right into that category.
Gotcha.
Where it's like a piece of art that kind of jumps off a page. It's not the entirety of the page. I didn't color the background. I didn't like... It's got like one or two things that are just on a piece of paper that look like they're kind of coming at you.
I have a question, and I know you're describing something. Did you trace the Upper Peninsula at all, or did you?
I just looked at an image. I just looked at a reference. Dude.
That is really good. The Upper Peninsula is not easy to draw.
Yeah, it was hard. It was harder than the Michigan hand for sure.
Oh
or Michigan, the bigger part of Michigan, not the UP.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
impressive.
honestly, with a lot of that stuff, like I've been doing this for I don't know, almost 6 years now, and a big thing with drawing is you constantly are looking for lines and like where those go. So like honestly, drawing this is a lot easier now for me now than when I started, for sure. And of course it is, but it's also because I have that thing in my head where it's like, oh, there's a line, it goes down, it goes over, it goes up.
Gotcha.
There's a bend, and then you put all those shapes together, and it makes that thing. So
yeah. Well,
it's helpful.
I'm a very big Upper Peninsula fan, as you know, and I just think
I added the little Mackinac Island. You can't see it; it's real tiny, but there is Mackinac Island on there.
Oh no, I can kind of see it.
It's a tiny little island.
I like it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I did add a line for the bridge.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
It's so tiny. Like you'd have to. I don't have zoom enhance. Maybe wait, hold on.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I do. Hold on. We can do that.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
Going in a little bit. There we go. Oh, I definitely see the island now. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Yeah,
There's
and the little.
right now.
Yeah. You're on that little island, and then it does have the bridge, so it's the whole thing.
The teeth are really good too, man.
Thanks. Yeah, honestly, the mouth I was worried about, but it turned out pretty good. I'm always when you're not doing a human mouth, it's like it's such a different monster, literally.
I bet. Oh, no pun intended.
Yeah, some pun intended. I'm trying to do a show here. I need to take on a personality. Did it?
I should have just done that. But
yeah, we do have. I never showed you this, but we do have right there. There you go.
Okay. Oh, where? Oh, did you play it?
Can you hear it?
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's on there for everyone to hear several times in a row.
Several times.
Now the other thing I like wanted to discuss right before we get into your stuff, I just wanted to show you. I saw this online. One of them's funny. One of them's like an actual image of that supposedly is the dog man. Yes.
Gotcha. So
I'll let you decide which is which. I'll let you decide which is which.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here it
Let's see
is.
what we got here. Okay. Oh, is that him? There it is.
That's him, man. Obviously. He's out in the wild.
I don't even
just walking around.
I mean, that's where you got your inspiration, obviously.
No, yeah, that was my reference.
I don't even know how you haven't caught it yet. It's right there. They're right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real thing now. It's for sure.
Obviously,
so do you think this is real or fake? Or, they're probably both fake, but...
I mean, obviously it's real. No, I'm just kidding. Like,
you go with real.
I don't think if people are looking at this image, if you're listening, it's a man in a costume.
It's a man in a suit. It's a man in a dog suit and another person in a dog suit next to cars.
Right.
Like it's clearly a dog suit.
Yeah. I don't think that's it.
Okay, and then
that's funny.
Yeah, I mean you already know because you saw it. This is the quote unquote maybe real one. I'm gonna zoom in. Let's zoom in and enhance.
I'm very skeptical as well, but it does look more real than the other one.
It looks like a bear.
It looks like
a little bear.
Me, yeah.
It does.
Yeah,
it looks like a bear.
I would say this looks more real than the other one for sure. But it looks like a bear.
Yeah.
Like the other one is obnoxious.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, the other one was just not. Yeah, it was just a person in a suit. I saw it on there, and I'm like, this seems like good material. For,
for sure.
Okay. Any final thoughts? I'm trying to think. One thing I loved about doing this is that I've been going down this path of kind of researching the things that I'm drawing. I really like that. Most of the time, I just kind of have a blank piece of paper and I draw something I think would be cool. And this has a lot more intent behind it. It has a lot of like, oh, I know about this thing. I know where it is. I know what the history of it is. So I really like doing that. And I feel like, honestly, this show kind of inspires me to do more stuff like that. So I like it. It's cool. Thank you for liking it.
Yeah,
and
I like it a lot. I would say that.
Now let's erase all these and get
it's funny.
to
I'll talk
something
to you
I'm
about this
excited
later.
about.
I talked to you about this later, but I have an idea going. You know what? I have an idea going forward how we can make. I have an idea for this. Never mind. I shouldn't have even said anything.
We got something coming for you guys. It's in the
I
works.
might remove that from the podcast audio version.
All 0 people.
Yeah.
You'll listen to it later.
Right.
On the Big E Comedy Venture podcast.
Yeah.
It's in there.
There we go.
Okay, so we are gonna get to a piece that a picture you have sent me for this week. We are gonna discuss it. I have one thing that I'm gonna start out asking you a few questions about it that are. I use ChatGPT to kind of give me this like sassy like talk show host questions.
Right.
So I'll read a few of them. I'm not going to read all of them because they really are just kind of like you can't really respond to them entirely. Gotcha. But I do like them. I think you'd like them, so I'm going to do that. But let's get into the picture, and we're going to have you describe it first. Okay. Here we go.
So this was in a morning. It was in the morning. I went on a morning hike last Saturday. And I kind of described this in my last picture, so I'll try to maybe next week change it up a bit here. But I really enjoyed the sun peeking out of things. I like the sun peeking out of spots. I like when you can see the rays of it. So I have a picture here of I think this is Huron Road. I believe it's Huron Road on Mackinac Island. But it's a road on Mackinac Island on the east side of the island-ish. And I was just on a morning hike, and I love the island so much, as people already know from me. But if we're new to this episode or these podcasts I'm doing with you, I just love it, which is why I'm here for a summer. And so, I was just on a morning hike. I love that the sun was peeking out. I love that if you actually look back on down that road, if you have it and you can kind of zoom in, there was kind of like, not fog, but like, on the island, there's a lot of horse crap and stuff, and it gets dusty, but it's kind of like the sun was kind of, the rays were going through that dust, and I kind of enjoy that.
Oh, that's kind of
Oh my God, that's
crazy.
I'm about to compliment myself hard. It's not myself though, it's the sun. I just caught it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but you had the knowledge, the foresight to get this image. I really like that. That's really cool.
But looking at it zoomed in, it really I love that. I love when the rays in this one are really clear, which is cool.
No, it's a beautiful image. I was gonna say my first instinct or like reaction to it was, I love roads, pictures of roads, especially when they're like canopied by any kind of tree or any kind of nature or anything like that. I love tunnels, all that stuff. Same. And it kind of gives you this old forest tunnel, which I really love. I love the sun peeking through. The color, just this vibrant green, is beautiful, and this tree just looks so like almost photoshopped in.
Right.
Because it's like so perfect.
It's funny too, like how now that we do this, like you said, you're doing new things. You got this thing with that you're working on with the Macabre Macabre for that kind of Odyssey festival and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it does add a little more pressure on like, okay, even though I enjoy taking photography, and even though I've been doing it already every week since I've been here, once you know you have one that you want to try to legit show off, it's like, okay, kind of let's find something in a weird way. But even though I enjoy it, and when I took it, I took this on Saturday, and in my mind I was like, okay, if I don't find anything else, I can use this week. Like I found one I can use.
No, that's how it always. And I feel like you'll take more pictures and then be like, no, I'm going to use the one that I was going to use.
Yeah.
Like from the get.
No,
you know what I mean? Like this was already going to be the one. It's a beautiful image. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one of these wacky questions. So, did you have a showdown with Mother Nature to get that perfect sunbeam to photobomb your Forest Road picture? Or is she just a fan of your work?
I'm going to say I had a showdown. In a sense, I had a showdown with the whole, to get the sun to peek out. So I had to get out of the way, tree. So yeah, I did. I got up there.
So you kind of did.
No,
you actually had a showdown. Okay. I like your answer.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you gave me an answer. I didn't think that you would be able to. So you straight up did
know
it.
me.
Okay. I've heard rumors that the forest road in your photo leads to a hidden stash of the world's best chocolate. Care to share the GPS coordinates with us?
I can't keep. You know what's funny is I was about to try to like, not lie, but like So if you go that way, you are not going to lead to the secret stash of world's largest best chocolates. But if you go
really?
the other way down into the main street of Mackinac, you know we are known for our fudge up here. So
that's true. So you are finding ways. I am like making this incredibly difficult, and you are finding ways to make these real. And I love it. I'm a fan. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more.
Okay.
Let's see here. Did you have? No. Okay. Okay. Let's settle a debate. Did you have to bribe the woodland creatures with extra nuts and berries to create such a perfect ambiance on that road?
This is the best way.
With no animals.
This is the best way I can weasel my way into it. I feel like I purposely gave a few horses some really nice treats because I wanted the horse crap to look just right on the road. So, like,
is there horse crap on the road?
You know, there's horse crap on every road on Mackinac.
Okay, so but it's just everywhere. It's a permanent staple.
Right, it's a constant. It's if you look at the road, what you'll see is like it's not fresh necessarily, but the brown stuff you see is not mud. It's like old stuff.
Okay.
That's not,
like it's definitely probably been shit out by something.
I have gotten so used. I borderline would say this, by the way. So new, fresh, right out of the rear end, if you will, smells terrible. Hate it. Don't like it. But the stuff that's just on the road that becomes a little dry and sun worn, I've not only gotten used to the smell of it, I kind of enjoy it.
that kind of makes sense. You get used to something, you just kind of go with it. You know what I mean?
It's just the smell of the island, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll get nostalgic going in urinals and stalls now.
There you go. Well, it does gotta be horse.
It's like, oh man, it's just like the island. Yeah, no, horse manure smells completely different. You're right.
Yeah, but no,
it's not as bad.
That was the best I could answer your question. Is that I just the suggestion that
I do want to ask one more because it is a wacky question, but it actually is like an actual question.
Okay.
That I kind of am interested in. If the forest road had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh. That's a good question.
Yeah, and it can't be country roads.
I know, right?
Yeah.
If this road had a theme song, what would it be? The Mr. Ed theme song.
Okay.
Whatever that is. To the TV show.
We can't sing it or play it here for plagiarism reasons.
I'm assuming there's
go look it up.
Theme song to Mr. Ed.
I'm sure there's a theme song, and I'm sure it fits very well.
And I'll
in
tell
this
you
setting.
this. I'll say this. I will not cop out and use that. If you use that question other times, I won't cop out every other time. Because that's the easiest one to say.
Okay. I do like that, yeah. Instead of on it, which we were going to do, but we were going to name our pieces, but I do kind of like this, what theme song would your thing?
That's a good question, yeah. And I got to think of better theme songs going forward, because I think that was a cop-out answer, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But,
well, you never heard it, so...
Yeah.
You definitely need to have at least heard the song to use it as a theme song.
Oh, it's like a horse is a horse, of course, unless it's the something incredible, Mr. Ed, something like that. That's how it goes.
Oh, well, all right. I mean, like I said, I think it fits.
Okay.
If you listen to it as you walk down that road.
I could sing a few lines of it. So.
Okay. Another question. I was just an actual question.
Yeah.
Did you go out just on a run, or did you go out to take this picture?
My sister was. I wake up so early, as you know. I wake up so early, and so if I'm up here, I might as well go on a walk. And so I went on a 2 mile or 2 hour hike around the island, and I'm doing a thing where I have a little map, and I'm trying to complete every trail. There's way more trails on this island than people realize, like way more. There's like, even though the island's only 8 miles around, there's like 100 and 80-ish miles of trails or something like that. So I have a big map, and I'm trying to complete them all. So I had some things I was checking off my list, but 100% my hope is that in that hike I would find a photo could use. So
okay, so they're kind of going hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they both are true at the same time.
I had
it's like
one
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, I had one other one that might have been the one I chose until I saw this one, and I liked this one way better.
Yeah, no, this is a beautiful picture.
Yeah,
it's definitely this is I hang this on my wall. This could be like
you'll have to,
in some like hippie guy's like doorway as a tapestry.
Even if it's not this year, I think I'm going to be back. You'll have to definitely come out when I'm here sometime, because these hikes you would love them, because it's stuff like this. Especially
I don't doubt that.
When you go in the back of the island and it's empty early morning or late night, it's so calm and peaceful, and it's this crazy little island that like has roads and everything, and you hear clip clop of horses, but there's no cars and there's not a lot of people if you go early in the morning.
Yeah,
or
no,
late
I love Mackinac Island. I haven't like delved into it at all to the level that you have, but I do love it. It's one of my favorite places on the planet.
Yeah, it's great.
That I've seen. Again, I haven't gone overseas
of course.
yet.
And you've seen a lot of places at this point now, so.
Yeah, at least in the U.S. I'm pretty sure I've gone to pretty much everywhere except some places in the East. That I haven't been to. But so I like it. I think it's a beautiful piece. I think that you killed it on the thing. Like I said, this is frame worthy. This is maybe keep that for later. Especially like for you, because even it's just an image of a road with forest, but it has so much more meaning than it's on Mackinac Island to you too.
And it's kind of cool. I'm in this Mackinac Island Facebook group, Addicted to Mackinac Island, which I've been in for 3 years. It wasn't like I just joined it because I came up here.
Yep.
And for one, I post pictures in there, and they do pretty well as far as people seem to like a lot of my photography or whatever.
Awesome.
But they also do a thing once a day where they do turn someone's picture into a digital puzzle that people can put together. And they picked this one, and I think it's been like my 6th since I've been on the island that they've picked for a daily puzzle. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I was going to say, too, I'm going to show it on the screen here. Yeah. We got a comment. Nice shot. Talking about your photo right here.
Thank you.
So just want to give you a little credit.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say next week I'll be a little more prepared with kind of this. I love like an outline of the show you put together for us. I unfortunately don't have it, so I was gonna say, I forget what we do now.
So now that we've talked about Eric's picture, we're just gonna go into a brief breakdown of maybe how these two things that I've created and he's created, and art and photography in general, collide, and similarities and differences.
Okay.
I would say, and then like a brief, just ending statements if you got anything like that.
Okay.
But I would say my opinion on both of our special pieces this week, they're very Michigan oriented. Mine has to do with monsters of. I could see this being the picture where there's the Wolfman in it. Or Dogman. Yeah.
Dogman can be in the photo. Especially
at the very end of the road. That's where it leads. Yeah. Dogman.
Oh, I'm going to be on the lookout for Dogman. Although I guess he's...
You should be. And Bigfoot. I mean, he might swim over there. You never know.
Right. Who knows? I did see some deer the other day, which is crazy. There's not that many on the island, so...
That's awesome. That's really cool. I actually saw some deer in my backyard.
Nice.
Yesterday. It's not as cool as on an island because it means that they got there somehow, which is pretty wild.
Right.
That those deer traversed the ocean. Does that mean that they go over when it's frozen?
Yeah, the deal is, I guess sometimes they go over when it's frozen, and sometimes they stay, or sometimes they miss time when they're supposed to go back, and they're just on the
they're just like, we're stuck here on the
island. There's not many. Yep. We saw 2, and the rumor is there's maybe 5, maybe.
Oh,
so,
dang. That's actually a pretty rare thing to see him then.
It's pretty rare, yeah.
That's cool. That's really awesome. So no Dogman yet, but we'll see.
No Dogman yet.
I would say that both things have that to do with each other, and then any correlation
maybe
with.
A foresty
I think they're.
You could say.
What'd you say?
A foresty theme.
Yeah.
With both
Mine's like what's in the forest. Yours is the forest. I would say mine's a creature of the forest. So yeah, definitely that
Correct.
crossover. And then they're both forms of art that take us time to cultivate that skill. That's what I would say.
I would agree with that. Yeah. No, yeah, this is definitely finally doing it a long time. That's when you're able to just stop and get a photo, I guess, as it were. But yep, for sure. I really loved your drawing. It's honest to God, I like it a lot. Like I love that.
Thank you.
It's really cool, and it's one of my favorites that you've done, to be honest with you. But
appreciate. I'm sure it is. You are biased again because it has the Michigan in it, but
it's hard to. But however it is how.
But yeah, no, it whatever catches your eye, whatever matters to you, is what makes you like a piece. So I appreciate it. I love the flattery. I also think that your piece is pretty amazing. I really like this piece we did. I love doing this episode. This has been really. I know it's only our second episode.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of fun doing this, the tangents we go on. The other podcast we're going to be starting where me and him have contention towards each other.
Oh, right.
We'll be airing every day.
Every podcast a week, my God.
Yeah. We got 7 days of anger.
Right.
Just kidding. But any last thoughts, anything you wanted to say about what we just did?
I'm excited for the fact that this little festival is going to have kind of a series of photos, and I'm interested myself, from being a Michigan nerd, to see all the monsters of Michigan that you're going to show to me eventually at some point. So.
I'm thinking I have this big canvas. I'm thinking I'm going to do an outline of Michigan on it, and then put the pictures of the monsters where they are.
Nice. That's a really cool
according
idea.
to it.
That's a really cool. I like that a lot.
Be like, oh yeah, that's from there.
If it wasn't on that holiday weekend, I would have came down honestly for it. But that's my
and you got
the bridge walk.
Something
that's my
big coming up anyway. You got What'd you say?
Oh yeah, that's my that weekend specifically, that holiday weekend specifically, is my big family bridge walk weekend. That's
bridge
where they come up to the island every year. Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes sense. I've done that a few times myself. The bridge walk is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
I would definitely check it out. But so yeah, if anybody wants to check that out, it's September 2nd and 3rd in Charlotte, Michigan, near Lansing. Festival of the Oddities. I'm gonna have a booth there. I'm gonna have a whole series of cryptids, of fun little monsters that you can get for yourself,
Nice.
and other art. So check out Stargazing Productions, where I have all of my art, all of my other stuff I sell. Stickers, t-shirts, prints, a lot of other stuff. And stuff you saw today, that piece, that Dog Man, definitely is available. So check that out. And then I do a show every Monday called Color My Art, where you get to pick the colors I use on my piece. So we create it together. It's a lot of fun. I do it at 6 p.m. with my co-host Corey. That is a blast. And that's all I got for me. What do you got, Eric?
I do the I just scared somebody by my yelling. Last week when I was doing the show with Amy, by the way, I did.
I know. I watched it.
Okay.
He got told to quiet down. Which I have been privy to no less than 3 times when we were on the trip.
Oh, right. And definitely no less than, I would say that.
Yeah.
But I got the Biggie Comedy Venture podcast. Obviously, I record it. It's not out at the same time every week. It's usually out Sunday or Monday. A Biggie Comedy Venture podcast, where I talk about my experiences living and working on this wonderful island that is Mackinac Island. I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it for me. Follow me on Eric Fadie, Fadey on Facebook. Somebody hacked my Facebook account, my old account, and I'm still trying to work on that. But Fadey on Facebook, Instagram, Eric Fadie. That's right. But Instagram is only my Facebook is like my jokey jokes, stuff like that, and Instagram is like straight my nature pics. So there you go. Yeah,
both of
Sounds
those
good.
things.
That's good enough.
Sounds super interesting. And then if you're in the area on August 24th, you might want to check out a little talent show where Eric will be performing, which is pretty great. He's got a clean set, which nobody believed that it could happen until it happened, and it's pretty wild that it is, and it was good. I watched the first. I'm sure he's doing different stuff now, but I watched his first set, and it.
Yeah, you know me. It's gonna be some jokes, but most half new, half the same. So and my
Yep.
parents are going to be there, which is going to be wild.
Yeah. Oh, that's honestly pretty cool. That
Yeah.
because they've never seen you perform, correct?
I showed them the video last weekend or something.
But
It's the first time ever
like-
I thought to myself, I could show them the video. Because I've never had a set I could show them, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yep.
and they actually liked it. And then I thought, you know what? I should have them freaking come up. This is such a rare
Yeah.
opportunity they're going to get to see. And
Yep.
it's going to be clean so they can see it. So, yep, they're going to be up
Yeah.
here the 24th.
That's wild. My dad does stand up. They've been to my shows so many times. I used to host a show.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
constantly there. So like I just kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You definitely have a different kind of dynamic with
I
them.
have a
So
different,
yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Well, and also some of my jokes are rather. I don't think you'd like to tell some of my stories in front of your parents, probably either. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's-
Yep.
Anyway, all right.
Before we get out of here, I'm going to answer one of the questions posed in the comments, which was, so what are all of the monsters in Michigan? I am going to be doing a series on this show each week discussing one. The first one was Dogman. When this show is over, you can go back and watch what we talked about with it. The next one is going to be Saggy from Saginaw, and I'm going to be doing a bunch this month. So check out this show, and you get to see all of the monsters of Michigan, because I'm going to do them all. And then maybe I'll list them or something later. But thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We had a lot of fun. We're going to be doing this next week. Thursday for us, but the episode comes out on Saturday. So check out iTunes and, just download the podcast. And then you can listen to us talk about the monsters of the land and Mackinac Island and a bunch of stuff going on there and beautiful pictures. It's just a lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm ranting.
You're all right.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
All right. Peace, guys.